Hello, everybody. I am with my first guest from Venezuela, another English teacher and TikToker, Miguel. Actually, Miguel,
Yeah.
hello. I try to practice my bad Spanish to say some words. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing well, my friend. What about you?
I'm doing great. So, when did you decide to be an English teacher, and when have you fallen in love with the English language?
Oh, well, I started learning English like 6 years, 7 years ago. I
Mhm.
am 29 years old, so in my case, it's different than the rest of the non-native English speakers because,
Mhm.
well, most of them
Mhm.
started speaking English or learning English when they are too little, like when they are, like, I don't know, like 7 years
Mhm.
old or 8 years old.
Mhm.
Actually, less than that, maybe
Mhm.
5 years old.
Mhm.
But in my case, it was different because I grew up in a really humble family, and
Mhm.
I didn't have the possibility to study a foreign language
Yes.
because it was too expensive. And you know, I am
Mhm.
from Venezuela, and things right here are a little bit difficult to carry
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
And I first studied medicine at the university, like for
Wow.
3 years. Yeah, and I was very immature. I
Mhm.
didn't know what to do with my life. So those 3 years at university, I spent those years like doing anything for myself, just
Mhm.
like attending to parties, gathering meetings and stuff. And I was just losing my time. And well, I decided to prep to medicine because, of course, it wasn't for me.
Mhm.
After that, I decided to do something different. I have
Mhm.
three sisters. They all speak English and French. They are awesome. They are out of the
Mhm.
country,
Mhm.
and I realized that maybe I could do something related.
Mhm.
And well, I decided to start doing like an English course, and
Yes.
I studied a lot. At the beginning, my teachers said that I was really good, because I didn't know anything about the language, but I wasn't afraid to keep a
Mhm.
conversation,
Mhm.
and that helped me a lot when I
Mhm.
was starting learning English.
Mhm.
Well, I finished the course. The course lasted like, I don't know, maybe 1 year and a half. I
Mhm.
thought I was one of the best, but
Mhm.
after that, I decided to enroll at the university and study modern languages.
Yes.
Well, when I started my career at modern languages, I had a really big ego. I thought that I was the best, but of course I wasn't.
Mhm.
Why? Well, because my classmates were amazing, bro. They had been out of the country. They had visited countries like the US and not cities like Miami, where most people speak Spanish. No, they visited cities like Chicago, Pennsylvania. Uh, they had been in England, Scotland, Ireland, and stuff. And I had never been out of the country. I just once visited Mexico and
Mhm.
Costa Rica, but those are not English countries. So
Mhm.
my background in that sense was very difficult, and I had to deal with those people, and they were mean with me. They told me pretty bad things about my pronunciation at the beginning of my degree. They
Mhm.
told me pretty bad things about the way about my accent, about my fluency, and
Mhm.
I fell down, and I started dealing with depression because of that.
Mhm.
And that thing that my teachers at the English course used to say about me and my confidence, well, I lost that confidence.
Mhm.
And I spent 2 years at the university without keeping English conversations with anyone because I thought that I was a piece of crap,
Mhm.
at speaking English. Sorry for the word.
Mhm.
And well, I started losing my time again. So I was
Mhm.
doing it when I was studying medicine, losing my time at university. Well,
Mhm.
I decided to hang out with girls, attending to the
Mhm.
parties, uh, and actually falling in depression. So the
Mhm.
things were very difficult for me. And of course,
Yes.
I was like the main character of that
Mhm.
dark world where I was living,
Mhm.
and well, finally, when I was like in the third year of my university degree at modern languages, I realized that I had to, to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
I looked for help. I started seeing a therapist, doing really bad, heavy work with myself, like trying to make the peace with myself. And, I was like 25 or 24 years old and I was lost.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I think, I don't know whether it was God or maybe my therapist or
Mm-hmm.
just because I realized that I had to do something different, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here with you. Well, and I my confidence got back when I was in the fourth year of my degree.
Yes.
I start to keep in English conversations again. I downloaded an application. Its name is HelloTalk. I first met my first native English speaker. He's from Australia. His name's David. He helped me a lot with my English, but not with my accent. Because imagine a Venezuelan guy trying to fix his accent with a person from Australia.
Yes.
Well, he wasn't interested about helping me with my accent. He used to tell me that my English was great, but native speakers sometimes they do not care about the way you speak. They just care about being understood, and that's okay. And he was Australian, so I started imitating him, and I started like getting that Australian accent. It was a mix between my Australian accent and Venezuelan accent. I didn't know what to do. When people used to listen to me speaking English, they were like, I mean, you sound pretty weird. It's that Scotland? Or what is that? I mean, people started being men against again, and I was like, oh my God, this is happening. This is just happening again. I don't know what to do right now. I mean, it was like a process. So I got my degree at the university. I met another English native speaker friend. She's from Chicago. Her name is Lena. She helped me a lot with my pronunciation. She actually told me really good things about the International Phonetic Alphabet. And she told me that I needed to practice the vowel sounds, consonant sounds, and the manner and the point of articulation. I didn't know anything about those things because, of course, I was taught at the university, but I wasn't a very unstable person when I was at the university. So to be honest with you, my English started to change when I started teaching. Teaching was like the beginning of my big change. Of course, I have a lot of things to fix right now because, well, I'm not a native speaker and I need to, like practice a lot. So that's one of the reasons that I created my TikTok account, because it helps me to get like a bigger immersion, a deeper immersion with English. And, teaching has helped me a lot to improve, working hard for my students, because I see my students like a family, and I really love them, and I like to do the best for them because I'm trying to become and the teacher that I needed when I was at the university. If I realize there is a student that has a problem with, I don't know, things that I used to deal to, I try to help this student with that, and I try to do the things.
How does it feel to be on social media now and having a successful TikTok account?
Well, I started posting things on TikTok. As I'm telling you, I think I was brave because I didn't know what I was doing at that moment. I mean, it's not easy to deal with people. I mean, and but I think it was the right choice. I think it was the right thing to do because it was the best decision for me and of course to my students, because I'm learning a lot and trying to help people. And just like starting in this path calling TikTok, that and try to do my best. And try to do my best, and I'm just like, working very hard every day to improve, and I, of course, telling to my students that, of course, they're going to make mistakes, because even teachers make mistakes, even native speakers make mistakes, even Spanish speakers make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's totally normal. And those mistakes are the gate, are like a gate that's going to help you to be better. If you take those mistakes as a lesson, well, those lessons are gonna teach you a lot, and that's that's the way I'm working on with things right now.
Yeah. What is the most memorable moment that you have as a teacher so far?
As a teacher so far, oh my God, you're gonna make me cry.
No.
I mean, and well, last year, it was last year, yeah, of course, because even like 10 months ago, I didn't know anything about phonetics or phonology and the reduction of accents and stuff. I thought everything was about it was about motivation and imitation, of course, but of course it wasn't enough. And well, one of the best memorable things was, well, deep in my ignorance, I told to one of my groups, to one of my English groups at the academy, which I work. I told them, hey, for the auto evaluation, I want you to prepare, I want you to create, I want you to perform like a musical. You know what I mean? Like a musical play. And I think it would be really interesting, and you got the talent. I mean, I didn't have the tools that I have right now to teach. I was just like, carried by, I don't know, maybe an unreal desire, something that I think it was impossible. And the musical play was going to be, actually, it was about La La Land, the movie. They represented 4 songs of the movie, and they did it awesome. I helped them as I could in that moment, and they understood what they had to do at that time. They were like in basic module 3 of English, and they just knew how to use the present progressive, simple present stuff. They didn't know how to talk about the past, but they did it. They did it, and they were awesome. They were really happy. They said, "Thank you, teacher, for letting us do this kind of activity. It was different. It wasn't the normal English evaluation. It wasn't like an interview. You didn't ask for, I don't know, our parents or family or our telephone numbers. You let us do something really creative and different." And they were like, identified with the activity, because they have no possibilities about going abroad and sharing some moments with English native speakers. And these kind of activities related with movies and conversations about real life help students in Latin America, especially in Venezuela, to get like a deep immersion with English language. So it was really memorable for me, because it was like my first big activity. I really like drama. I really like to create drama plays and stuff. Yeah, because it's amazing. And it worked. It worked with them, and they were really happy. I was very afraid, because when I was thinking about doing it, I was like, man, it's perfect, it's going to be awesome, because you're talented. But it was a process, and at the end I was like, oh my God, they did it.
What is the advice that you would give my audience and your audience to keep motivated to study English?
Okay, well, do not quit. Everybody's gonna tell you that you're not able to do anything because you suck. Everybody's gonna tell you, you know, pretty bad things about your English, your accent, pronunciation stuff. But you know, they are telling you that because they want to do what you're doing. That's the main reason of it, and you're not able to do it. That's sad. But when people are not, you know, able to do something, they're going to like reflect their frustration on people that they do, that they're capable of doing it, you know. So keep it up, keep it up. Do not quit, because if you're doing it right now, it's because you're able to do it. So just keep in learning. Do not quit. Do your best. Do your best.
You're right. Okay. Now we're going to go to the rapid round game, the game that everybody loves. I will start, and then I go on the hot seat, and you can ask me your questions. All right? Okay. So my first question for you is, my family is?
Well, my family is awesome.
Friends are?
Friends are a little bit tricky.
Life is?
Life is difficult, but it's beautiful.
Being a content creator is?
Being a content creator is amazing, and it hurts a lot sometimes.
The most beautiful word in English for me is?
Love.
Peace is?
Peace is, well, peace is not easy to carry, but you know, it's like a beautiful concept.
Yes. Now I am on the hot seat, and you can ask me your questions.
Okay. Friendship is?
The family next in line.
Peace is?
Within ourselves.
Okay. And what's love for you?
Well, that's a good one. What's love for me? Love for me is seeing my family, my children, my wife, and my friends alive and happy.
That's awesome. And the last one, a dog is?
Very beautiful and very sweet. Dogs are very beautiful and very sweet.
Yeah.
So for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. And for you is, nobody does anything alone. And nobody's perfect. And that's what I said. And I want you to keep that in mind. You are too young yet, and you are into a very beautiful track on social media, and you know that we are put to the test every single day. We have to go out of our comfort zones every day to teach a language that we learned as well. When we get the hang of it, is the best thing. Most importantly, you have something that is not learned anywhere. Charisma. Charisma is something that you either have it or you don't have it. Keep going. Strong. It was a pleasure to have you as a guest for an interview on my channel. You know,
thank you.
I want everybody to know that this was my friend Miguel Angelo. I'm trying to use my Spanish here that I don't have. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your time. See you all later. Thank you.
See you around, my friend. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Hello, it's Rod's friend here, Gino from Real Everyday English. Sorry for interrupting your video. I just want to make a quick recommendation that you subscribe to Rodrigo's channel. He's an amazing guy. He's so humble. He's so dedicated, and he creates absolutely fantastic content. See you people soon. Bye-bye. God bless.